9th, 2009, the Beatles were once again dominating the music charts all over the world. But who are they, and why are they still regarded as the best band in the world when nearly 40 years after they broke up? Let us take a look back at when it all started.
In 1960, a British group was responsible for shaking up the music world, and the talented quartet would soon become one of the most famous rock groups of all time.
These were the Beatles, and their songs still today are being played on radio stations. And new fans are now listening to their music on MP3 players and iPods.
The original members of the group were John Winston Lennon from Liverpool, James Paul McCartney from Liverpool, George Harrison from Liverpool, and Stuart Sutcliffe from Edinburgh, Scotland.
They weren't always known as the Beatles. The first group name was Johnny and the Moondogs, before changing the group's name to the Silver Beatles.
But in 1960, they won a spot on a tour of Scotland with Johnny Gentle. And shortly after John Lennon told the group he had dreamed that they were to be called the Beatles, with a unique spelling that featured an A in it.
Paul McCartney were beginning to be very good songwriters as well as performers, and George Harrison contributed some of the songs for the group.
More famous than their music at the beginning were their haircuts, which were often called the mop tops.
Brian Epstein was a music store manager, and in 1961, he went to see the Beatles and soon became their manager.
During the early years, many record companies turned down the group and would not agree to sign any contracts. After the loss of Sutcliffe as drummer, Pete Best filled in for a while Talon as drummer was not up to the group's expectations, as he was replaced with Richard Starr playing Ringo Starr, who was also from the Liverpool area.
Ringo was an outgoing drummer who had performed with a band called Rory Storm and the Hurricanes.
In 1962, the group's first single, Let Me Do, made it to the charts and was distinguished by London's harmonica playing. In 1962, Please Please Me was a new hit, and this band was suddenly on the fast track.
More songs were topping the charts, including From Me Do, She Loves You, Yeah, 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 and I Want to Hold Your Hand. By this time, it was official that Beatlemania had taken the country by storm.
In February of 1964, the Beatles made their first U.S. appearance on the Ed Sullivan television show. The group became the first UK group to win the American audience and thus begun the British invasion of rock music in the 60s.
The Beatles enjoyed tremendous success and even starred in several movies, including A Hard Day's Night and Help and Yellow Submarine.
They continued to release top-selling albums and songs, including Yellow Submarine, Eleanor Rigby, Penny Lane, and the famous Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
The music was excellent, but the lyrics that are as timely and meaningful today as they were then, when they seem to sum up the feelings of an entire generation.
The group had millions of adoring fans who idolized the group. But in 1970, the group had too many personal differences to continue.
The music and songs that the Beatles created forever changed the music industry in the generation